Trevor is over at Mark,
Great.
but he's at large member to replace Tommy.
Awesome.
And then he's the mayor pro tem over at Mark.
Very cool.
So
Congrats.
we're working
Is
with
this your
them.
first term or?
And Mark,
Yeah.
yeah, I've been on since 2019.
Awesome. Cool. Great to meet you.
Thank you.
We're working with Mark on some of the water planning and all that. They've got a plant that they've got capacity to do more. And so we're just trying to figure all that piece
Yep.
out and how they can contribute into the arsenic issue
Yep.
over there.
Yep. Great.
They have both groundwater and treated surface water.
Great. Cool.
So trying to get all the pieces together,
Yep.
working with Brass River Authority to be sure they got supply side.
Awesome. Very good.
Much smaller scale, but similar to what Robinson's doing, you know, expanding their plant with y'all's help to patch them through, and that'll help provide water to Lorena and Hewitt is back up, and
Yep.
so the more Waco water be utilized for industrial.
Industrial. Yep. That's great. I know. I met with Marina's mayor a couple of years ago, and he was asking about water, and I'm like, man, I would love to figure this out. It's just
Yeah.
get in line with everybody else who we're trying to figure this out for.
Well, Commissioner Smith and I have lunch with him tomorrow.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Is it still
Tommy Ross
yeah,
is the
Tommy
mayor.
Ross.
Yeah.
Tommy Ross is as good as they get.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He's such a good guy.
Yeah,
So
but-
nice.
He
He provided us insurance coverage for years,
That's my go-to.
and I like Tommy a lot.
Yeah.
But it's
Then we end
just
up getting what, 4 or 5?
we're struggling to get our own jurisdiction water infrastructure where they need it, and so we got to all find solutions to it. We're working on it, but
Yeah.
that's great. He's a really good guy.
We had picked up that big USDA loan / grant
Yeah.
to do all of ours. We're still working. Our water plant's just about close to being completely finished, and then we'll be able to you know, hopefully be able to provide to the rest of the eastern
Yep.
McLennan County and help out.
Yep. It's great. We're waiting on quorum.
I guess so. We had, let's see, who else said they were coming?
We have a quorum on paper.
Okay,
Did you say?
surprised Rick's not here.
And Steve.
Yeah,
Oh, the mayor.
Thank you.
How are you?
How are y'all doing?
Yeah, we're doing well.
I see you.
has anybody called or online?
The pen hog, I'm just having issues today. I got mine, you're not bought mine. Cause I didn't wanna steal yours. You gonna be okay.
Pardon me?
Justin was talking tonight to see if we can go ahead and swear Trevor in.
Okay, well, I can go ahead, do we have a quorum?
We still wouldn't have a quorum, so.
Okay. But if we swear him in, we'd have a quorum, right?
We still only have 4.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
Wouldn't feel bad right
Oh,
now.
you look early compared to him.
Recording in progress.
Okay. I believe we have a quorum, so, let's call court, or, what is this? What is this organization? It's the Board of a McLennan County Rural Transit District. Proof of posting, I think we were posted, today's Thursday, July 6, 2023, and, it's, 4:41 PM, and, Dustin, the proof of posting.
Yes, sir. It was posted on Wednesday, June 28th, 2023 at 9:20 PM.
Okay. All right, so, thanks everyone for coming. There are minutes in the package, and, I looked over them, went through them. They look all right to me. I don't know if anybody else had a chance to review them. I do have a follow-up question on them, but the minutes to me look fine, and I would make a motion to approve those minutes.
Second.
A motion and a second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, pass. The only thing I've got, Serena, is, Falls County judge had sent us a letter to discontinue certain route, for them to take over in their transportation.
Yes, sir.
And have we seen any, service issues or anything, shortfalls on the service at Falls County or us going into Falls County?
We haven't had anything communicated directly to us, but I don't know if the passengers would, know to contact Waco Transit since it's basically their county. They really wouldn't reach out to us. Now, if there was a need and they expressed it, I definitely would communicate it to REP so that they would be aware. But I haven't had anything directly communicated to me regarding a gap in service delivery.
Okay. I did have a conversation with a gentleman there that traveled quite a bit from over there to Waco to, I think to the VA. But anyhow, and he was friends with the county judge, and his options were less. And
They don't have the same service hours where they don't
Service
run on
hours, yeah.
Saturdays. Like
no Saturday.
Right, we provided Monday through Saturday, all day basically.
Yeah.
So there is a gap, but I can't move that direction
That's
unless
right.
he
I
agrees.
understand that. So I just want to try to stay clued in if what's going on there, because that route's important to McLennan County as well, to bring people here to work and
Yes, sir.
those things. So anyhow, I just wanted to report that. If anybody else talks to anybody in that regard, well, good or bad, I mean, other than that, he didn't have any big complaints about it, and I said, "You're friends with the judge, go talk to him." So, I like deflection, from one judge to another. All right, so, I think, one thing, Dustin, on the agenda, I'd like to go to, getting, Mr. Wegworth back re-sworn in, so we can, he can vote to, on that large member that's coming in. So, if you would kind of go over the transit bylaws in regards to these places that were open and need to be filled.
Yes, sir. So B2 on the agenda is approval of Place 6 director. Place 6 is the Precinct 2 region of McLennan County. So our office had sent letters to Hallsburg, Mart, and Riesel requesting a nominee. Hallsburg was the only city that returned a nominee, and that was Mr. Rick Wigworth. Martin Riesel did not return a nomination, so there was no need to go through the voting process spelled out in the bylaws since we only had one nominee. And Mr. Wegworth technically is a holdover in that spot until he's replaced, but if we can go ahead and have a motion to approve the reappointment of Mr. Rick Wegworth to the Board of Directors.
And he can vote on that as well, right?
Yes.
All right, so I'd entertain a motion to put Mr. Wegworth back in that position.
So moved. Second.
Have a motion and second, any discussion? No discussion, all in favor say aye,
Aye.
and all voted aye, and any opposed, no opposition, pass. All right, so now let's address,
Did you want to go ahead and just re-swear him back in, Judge?
yes, I can do that right now. All right, and I've given you a copy of this. So if you will repeat after me, in the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Rick Wegworth, do solemnly swear or affirm
I, Rick Wegworth, do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of board member of the Rural Transit District of McLennan County, Texas,
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of board member of the Rural Transportation District of McLennan County,
and the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
state of Texas, and will do the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
All right, congratulations. Thank you for serving.
Thank you. Sorry I was late.
No, no problem, no problem. So,
B, you ready to move on, Judge?
I am,
All right, B3 is approval of place 9 director, and per the bylaws, and this is the at-large spot, and subsequent directors for place 9 shall be selected by the board of directors from an entity not already represented on the board. Following the precinct 2 region where only Hallsburg submitted a nominee, Judge had our office reach out to Mart, and Mr. Trevor Bays, Mart Mayor Pro Tem, has agreed to serve on the board. And so he fits the qualifications, and this would be a 2-year term that would expire in 2025.
okay. All right, so at this point, I'd entertain a motion to elect Mr. Bays to serve at that large position for the Rural Transit District.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a motion and second. Any discussion? No discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Oppose? Pass. Okay, Mr. Bays, I will swear you in. And I've got you might want to follow along, because I'm gonna read just about the whole thing, maybe the whole thing. I drug Rick out on it a little bit. All right, in the name and authority of the state of Texas, go ahead.
In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas,
I, Trevor Bays, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of the board member of the Rural Transit District of McLennan County, Texas, and of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
I, Trevor Bays, do solemnly swear or affirm that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office of board member of the Rural Transit District of McLennan County, Texas, of the state of Texas, and will to the best of my ability preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States and of this state, so help me God.
All right, thank you. Welcome aboard. All right, and also, I think just a good time to point out that, I think that's it. Point out that even though Mr. Bays is the at-large member, that due to him living in Mart and Mart being an important corridor from McLennan County to Limestone County to really, look and see any needs that there is. You learn more. Serena and Jana will help you with that. And then Mr. Wegworth there in Hallsburg, which is on the main route to Riesel, who didn't turn anyone in, but he would well represent that group and just a few miles down the road. And that he also looked for opportunities for transit to increase ridership in that important corridor that goes to Falls County. So I ask you that y'all do that, and any questions you have about the routes or the service or those kind of things, or if you hear anything, good, bad, whatever, I can tell you that Serena would want to know that and be able to deal with it. She's very good at taking care of, issues in a very prompt and efficient way. Okay, so Dustin, next agenda item,
So Judge, it would be item C, operations report, ridership programs, revenue, expenses, equipment, and related matters. And Serena will be presenting this.
Serena?
Are they gonna put it up on the? Oh, I sent it,
I'll have Dustin.
Okay.
but I can.
Dustin's upstairs, he's gonna put it on.
Okay, yes, sir.
I'm looking for it right now, Judge.
Okay.
Okay, right now that I know of, but I'll,
And we'll reach out and kind of do like a little orientation. just to kind of
that'll
talk
work.
about it.
Okay.
So we're gonna start talking about the total rural ridership. We always try to give you a comparison by the fiscal year from the past fiscal years. Again, we're still trending, a little down based off of some multiple factors. We're still in search of employees to kind of gain that. So if you know of anyone in your area, we are considering having, vehicles staged in, specific cities so that that could help, be an incentive for individuals to work for us and not have to do a travel distance from their city to Waco. So we are trying to be creative and create some lifestyle scheduling. So we continue to post that on our social media accounts. We continue to put that in all of our vehicles. And we reach out to the facilities that we pick up individuals from. But if there is an employer or an entity that you know that we can reach out to try to generate applicants, please reach out and let us know. We don't mind going out. We do health fairs, we do community fairs, we do community events to promote employment as well as the benefits of utilizing public transportation.
Okay, good. That's a good idea. And that may be something Riesel or Mark Hallberg might know someone that'd be interested in that.
Or groups or organizations that have meetings, like we went to the Kiwanis Club in West. So if y'all have anything like that, that's a meeting and they have some retirees that want some extra income, don't let us know.
Right?
Next slide, Dustin. And per your request, you guys, I had taken this slide away a year ago or so, and you guys asked that I bring it back to kind of show you a comparison per month in each of the specific areas that we provide service in. So this slide is just reflective of that. As you see our demand response, we're trying to trend it back up. But again, it's based off availability and the capacity to provide that service. And so I think that we've got about 4 more months. June's numbers are not reflective in this report. And so I think we may be hitting pretty much where we were last year, but our hope is that we can get an increase. So we're still trying to get creative with this commuter route. So if anybody knows of some unmet needs and the gap in service, please reach out to us. We want to put that information out, capture those individuals, and help them, have a good quality of life regardless of what activity they may be pursuing. Next slide, please, Dustin. And here is the rural commuter service. As you guys know, last October, we were asked not to provide that service going out to Marlin. MARTA was a nice connector for us, and so we're trying to rebuild that commuter service. So you can see we trended down a bit if you look at October from historical, and so we've kind of been just building our service back up, just trying to find the right areas to put the service in. But we always want to be cost effective and we want to be efficient in what we do. And so that's why we solicit requests from individuals, because fuel is expensive. Putting vehicles out there and not providing service is not a benefit to our funding source. And so we really try to identify hot spots on maps and where populations of people are and push our service delivery in those areas. It's demand response. There's not a eligibility process for individuals to be able to utilize this service. Really, it just takes a call and we can meet that need. So again, any opportunity for us to put and promote McLennan County Rural Transit District, we definitely want to take advantage of that. But we're trending, we're getting better, and in time, we'll rebound. Next slide, please, Dustin. And here is a comparison of the commuter shuttles. So we've changed it from Marlin to Riesel, since we no longer travel to Riesel. And you can see there's about a 200% difference in trip costs on average. And you can see Sanderson Farms, whenever they have a high employment campaign, then we'll get a lot of ridership during that time. Summertime, they do a big push, they'll retain those people, and then they'll have a drop down, like, you know, we're looking like in November, December, holiday months. February, they kind of fall back off, but then as the summer approaches, Sanderson Farms builds back up as well. We also have the parole route, so we like to keep that number steady, but anyone who, we want to make sure that there's minimal recidivism in that category, and so we make sure that we communicate with community organizations about that opportunity to meet that need for those individuals as well. Next slide, Dustin, please. And here's again the commuter bus comparison based off of the fiscal years. Next slide, Dustin. I do want to just hit a couple of things. We are currently moving our employment application process to where individuals can complete that entire process online. Historically, you had to come in, fill out the application there, but we realized that we miss a lot of applicants, and so we will be signing Trackstar this week in order for applicants to fill it out online, complete that entire process. We send them a notification. Technology is becoming our friend in a lot of categories. We are also looking at, we received a grant to for our electrification of vehicles for Waco Transit System. And so we're also going to be pursuing a pilot program to utilize an electric vehicle on that commuter route, because we would use a smaller vehicle for our micro transit zones. And so it's an excellent opportunity for us to kind of commingle that type of service and bring that efficiency and effectiveness to the rural system through piloting, engaging that performance instead of making a big purchase. So we'll be pursuing some of those things to be aligned with the direction we're moving Waco Transit System with regards to sustainability. So that is a project that we'll be looking at, and we'll again approach it from one vehicle on that commuter, because it's easier to gauge versus all throughout the community. And then we'll provide you guys some data, but that'll be a process. It's not happening within the next month or so, but that is a direction that we want to move to show McLennan County that the benefits of sustainable processes for vehicles.
So, so you would have some comparisons of what, let's just say a small sedan running on traditional fuel, gas, and compare that, the cost of that vehicle and the operating cost compared to what a electric vehicle would run. And I know y'all have done a lot of study, Mayor, over at Waco.
Yes, sir. We actually, with the, always when we're working with the city, we always commingle McLennan County Rural Transit District in with our fleet studies, our fleet assessments, because we want to make sure that we bring that added value to McLennan County, and the city of Waco is always gracious enough to include McLennan County in all of our studies, so that we're able to have that information on that vehicle and assessing, you know, the transition through our transit asset management plan for both systems. So they're not independent of each other. They're more commingled, and we work in tandem to make sure that we have those benefits across the board.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. That's all for ridership and my side of it.
Okay, all right. Next, the annual financial report from September 30th of 2022 through 2021. Is that right? Should that be in 2021? I'm sorry, is that a comparison?
Yeah, so in your audit book, it discusses and compares our revenues, expenses. It has a balance sheet pretty much comparing 21 and 22. There was no findings, we yet to have a year where we had a finding, knock on wood. We go above and beyond to make sure we meet the state's, the federal, and the city's guidelines and standards. In regards to that, we provided the copy of it, because this is the formal one that they're providing us from JRBP. They've done this audit for us for the past 7 years. And so we'll continue to make sure that we're following our federal regulations and everything.
And just so you all know, when they do make a suggestion with regards to something that we could do better, it may not be an official finding, but sometimes, as auditors do, they don't like to just give you a clean one. So they may make suggestions, and we look at those things and we try to implement that, as I think that shows the auditors that we do listen, we are hearing them, and we're in a position to respond appropriately. And so it just helps us be a better organization across the board. And so our team works really hard to make sure that we work within the boundaries that are laid out for us, and we hope that you guys appreciate the efforts that are put forth by the team.
We do.
You're looking at the financials for now, for this year?
Pardon me?
Are you looking at the financials for this year?
Yes.
Okay. Dustin, can you put the financial Excel sheet up there? Thank you. So there's a few things, there's not a whole lot of, unexpected changes, in regards to our financials. This is through May, it's not through June, so keep that in mind. We have the CARES Act funding expired at the end of May, but there's still one more RFR that'll be applied to this balance of 492.
Request for reimbursement.
Oh, sorry, yeah, we're still waiting on one reimbursement from TxDOT on that. So we should be utilizing all of those funds. We utilized all of our ARP funds, because those also expired in May. We're now on to our normal federal and state funding, as our, revenue sources, as well as our local ones. The only thing that I think is a significant thing to consider is our 5310 is a lot lower than it's normally, and that's because those expenses were included in our CARES Act funding, and that was per TxDOT's instructions. They wanted us to utilize all those funds first. So that 18,000 on 5310 isn't as high as it normally would be at this point in the year. That's about the only thing that's a huge red flag in regards to our revenue. And then, as you can see on the 5339, we did receive those vehicles that she brought up previously, and those are now being phased into our services. So those new ones that we received in 2022. The other thing that's a pretty exciting part of our expenses is the capital vehicle. You'll find on the last page for $39,000. We were able to purchase our maintenance department a new support truck that does road calls and things like that. That's pretty exciting. That was through some of that emergency funding as well.
And that concludes the financials.
Okay. And Trevor, as you can see, a good bit of the revenue side comes from various grants, federal and state, and some of them are associated with Medicaid, and then things pretty local like advertising, what they call bench advertising, and those things. So just so you'll get a feel on how it's,
If I get your email, I can provide you with, I have a information sheet that's pretty, so, I mean, it explains it the most basic way so you can get it. I can send that to you, so you have a better understanding, because I didn't think, I apologize.
And if you don't mind, just go ahead and send that to all the
Okay,
members. Yeah,
I can do that.
wouldn't hurt a thing. All right?
We can send it to Cody.
Oh, yeah, that works.
We'll send it to Cody, and then she can just
She'll
disseminate
have
it.
it.
Yeah. Okay. All right, is there any questions on the annual financial report or the operating report previously mentioned? Do we need a motion to approve those? Dustin?
Yes, sir, especially the annual financial report.
Okay. All right, I guess first, a motion to approve the operations report on item C, riderships and all, just for recording purposes. So I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Second?
Have a motion, second, any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? pass. Okay, and then, I'd entertain a motion to approve the financial report as presented.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right, I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? No other discussion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Pass. All right, I guess, approval and ratifications, if any, for grant applications and certifications, is that, do we have any?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, is there anything else to come before the group? I would like to say, and he's not on, but I'd like to let the minutes reflect that we appreciate Mayor Tommy Muska's service on this group. His term was up, and he served in that at-large position for several years, and was very interested in transportation coming through West in that area. So, I want to send him a correspondence that this court appreciated his efforts, as we appreciate all the officers serving as well. All right, is there anything else to come before the court? If not, we stand approved, stand adjourned. I've been doing this all day and I still didn't get it.
Recording stopped.
We're out.
Nice to meet you, young man.
Great to see you.
Hey, good to see you. Everything.